Welcome to Carl's Off the Grid. Today we're going to be installing some tongue and groove pine boards inside the interior of the cabin. But before we start that, we got to start our day off right. We are going to the best cafe and bakery shop in northern Wisconsin. It's Grandma Sally's. Let's go get some breakfast and then we'll get to work. Hey folks, welcome back to the cabin. Grandma Sally's, great breakfast. I can't speak highly enough of that place. They're not sponsoring me, they're just simply a restaurant that I love. So today on this week's episode of Carl's Off the Grid, we are going to be installing, or starting to install, the tongue and groove pine that I picked up a few weeks back. And we'll see how far we can go. I got a feeling this is probably going to be a couple part series. But I will show you how we're installing this pine, the different types of tools that we're using, and all that good stuff. So I'm getting sick of looking at this ugly foam that's sprayed on these walls. Let's get them covered up with some pine. Real quick, just an overview of the tools that I'm using. Here I have my Milwaukee Fuel M18 compound miter saw. You can see my finish nailer is going to be just simply a Porter cable finish nailer, nothing fancy. I've got the Milwaukee Fuel series drill that I've been using for drilling holes in the wall. And when I put in electrical outlets and stuff like that, I pre-drill it out with that drill bit that you see on there. And then lastly, I have a Chicago jigsaw that I'm using to do the finish cuts around the electrical outlets to make everything symmetrical and flat and that it looks good. And then we have a new addition. I brought a little bit bigger Honda generator up. This is a 4,000 watt generator. My usual Honda generator, the 2,000 watt, the red one that you see there, just isn't quite big enough for when I run my air compressor. So I experienced trouble with that last time in my last video when I installed the corrugated ceiling panels. You can go back to that video and check it out. I did it all with the smaller 2,000 watt generator, but it was a real pain in the butt because it wouldn't always consecutively run my air compressor. So that's why we brought in the big guns. And then lastly, I've got an older than the hills Craftsman table saw. I'm going to be using that for cutting apart the planks that need to be cut apart, so on and so forth. So without any further ado, let's get inside and start working. Okay, first wall's done. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. The lighting in here isn't the greatest right now because it's kind of a rainy day. It's real humid. So I'll give you a little bit wider shot in another scene, or if I can't get it right today because of the lighting, you know, as we continue on with this project, I'll give you a little bit better views. Took me a little bit longer than what I thought. The actual nailing the wood up goes real quick and easy, but cutting the holes around the electrical outlets, light switches, and the windows and door, that takes a little bit of figuring. So first wall's down, and hopefully the others go just as good. Okay folks, you can see behind me, it's dark out. The sun just went down, so I'm gonna stop working for the day. I feel pretty good about the progress that I have. I'm trying to shorten up these videos a little bit so that they're not, you know, quite so long. I didn't show you when I cut the holes for all this stuff. That's easy stuff that anybody can figure out. But anyways, just wanted to let you know that I'm pretty well done with those two walls, and we'll show you how it looks like all the way done around. And then of course the front wall where the front entrance is, that's all done as well. So I'm happy. Okay folks, I'm gonna call it a night, and I think I'm gonna call it a video on this one. You can see it's dark outside. I had some visitors stop by, and it was nice to get a little bit of visitation time in. We walked the land and I showed them what I all had here, and it was a real nice time. So anyways, with the project, I'm really happy. I've got two of the walls done. We're pretty much almost halfway done. I still have some work I have to do in both lofts, and then the back wall, and then the east side wall as well. And then we'll be pretty well wrapped up as far as that stage of the construction goes. For those of you who may be new to the channel, this channel originated from me wanting to show people that you can go ahead and put a budget cabin together for a fairly inexpensive price. This whole build so far has costed me $0. The way that I got the money to fund this is I collected scrap metals at work and took them in for money. And then I did a little bit of bartering and swapping too. I collect older muscle cars, and I was able to make a little bit of money that way as well. So you can see it's a small cabin, but I think it's turning out pretty nice, at least to my standards. For a tiny cabin, I really enjoy it, and I hope you do as well. I'd like to thank my subscribers. I'd like to welcome any new subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything to watch the videos or to subscribe or anything like that. It's all free entertainment. So pretty happy with how it went. The only thing I'm a little disappointed in is I brought all those tools that I showed you in the beginning, all the different types of saws and things like that, And to be honest with you, I had a little bit of cutting that I had to do, but not enough to really incorporate it into the video. Most of the wood that I had here, I pre-ordered already to size. So I kind of anticipated I'd be working a lot on this project by myself, and so I did that, and was able to make the project roll a little bit smoother. So I'd like to thank you again. We'll catch you next week on Carl's Off the Grid.